Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Arham bin Alias and I am from class 5E.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Khalil AL-AMIN bin ROAZMI and I am from class E.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is HANISA BINTI AKBAR from IM313
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is AMIRAH binti RAMLI and I am from class IM1105E. Today, I will be talking about the NAM. So, I will be start with the introduction. NAM stands for National Archives of Malaysia. NAM is one of the government agencies that plays a big role, especially in preserve the historic materials of our country, such as implements the storage of government data, information and records, and is responsible for the collection, preservation, and preparation of public records in various types and forms of materials stored for the reference of researchers and the public. Before being named the National Archives Malaysia, it is known as the Government Records Office, established on 1 December 1957. The National Archives is a government department which is under the responsibility of the Ministry of Culture, Arts and Heritage. Next is function and activities of NAM. There are several functions and activities of NAM that can be elaborated. Among its functions is to provide advice to government departments on the management of public records in a systematic and effective. The second function is to identify, collect, store and maintain records of information materials that have a national heritage and history as national treasures. The third function is to provide reference and research to governments, departments, and the public. Next, conducting research and preparing documentation for information about history. Lastly, NAM function is to disseminate knowledge and information of historical value among the public. NAM is also involved in research and documentation programs to find and complement existing historical facts as well as knowledge that exists through technological assistance. Next is source. The source of archival material is the primary source, where this source is a source of better quality, has not been processed with the opinions or views of researchers, and it is still original. For example, official files, departments, unpublished manuscripts, personal letters, electronic history and legal documents, eyewitness accounts, statistical data, audio and video recordings, speeches, and more. There are various types of records that keep in National Archives of Malaysia (NAM). The type of record kept in the NAM is an active record. This is because the record kept are valuable and frequently used records. These records are important records and have permanent value. By keeping it, the history can be preserved more safely.
Okay, then I will proceed for this slide, which is about the responsibility of National Archive Malaysia. Okay, there are a lot of responsibility of Archive Malaysia. For the first one is there has a statutory responsibility to give advice on good practice and standard in the public records management. And then for the second one is they are responsible in liaise with and provide the guidance to inquiry staff. This can help the inquiry put in place effective information management process. Okay, and then for the third one is they are responsible in giving result either they agree or not about the selection of the inquiry record for permanent preservation. Okay, last but not least, they are also providing advice and guide on the preparation and cataloging of records selected for transfer. Okay, next is for this slide is about the what if National Archive Malaysia not exist. Okay, as we know, National Archive Malaysia has a lot of functions, and if there is no archive, it might be give effects to the government, individual and organization. And then one of the effects that might be occurs if there is no National Archive Malaysia is difficult to trace the records when the government or organisation want to use it. And then second one is all the record will be misplaced and lost if there is no specific place to save it. And then the privacy of some organisation, government and so on will be not in safe condition. As we know, data needs to be meticulously managed and monitored in order for it to be utilized properly. Okay, it is very important to have National Archive in each country to save the privacy of the government, individuals or the organisation. Okay, next for this slide is about the background of National Archive Malaysia. Okay, National Archive Malaysia was established at 1st December 1957, soon after Malaysia became independent. Okay, it was known as Public Records Office before changing to their current name in 1963. Okay, the current location of this archive is at Jalan Duta in 1982. It was headed by a senior and expatriate officer with a small amount of staff, and then this agency are served as a repository of the data information and government records.
Next, as we know, every large organisation needs to be helped so that their work can be carried out well. Thus, the National Archive of Malaysia have branches of almost every established state that play their respective role towards their respective state. Therefore, there are 9 branches for the Archive of Malaysia. The first one is Kedah or Perlis branch, second Penang branch, Perak branch, Kelantan branch, Terengganu branch, Johor or Negeri Sembilan or Melaka branch, Sarawak branch, Sabah branch and Pahang branch. All branches have their own vision and mission, objective and their function. For the department or unit in the National Archive of Malaysia, they have arranged the matter in an organisation chart so that the users or researcher can know the entire department or unit available. This is the organisation chart provided. Next, for the National Archive vision is leading the transformation of record management and archive administration as the National Research Centre of Excellence by the years 2020, while the National Archive mission is empowering records management in the public sector and archive administration through smart partnership and efficient and effective utilization of information and communication technologies in the interest of society and the country. Next, for their objective are to improve efficiency and awareness of civil servants with regard to the record management through the enforcement of the National Archive Act 2003 to ensure that the records are managed in a systematic and cost-effective according to the standard set. And then the second one is to acquiring archival material with the eternal value, safe and preserving accordance with the principle and standard set as a reference and national heritage. And for the last is communalizing archival material through advocacy program to enhance the appreciation of the history of the country towards the establishment of the identity of Malaysian.
Okay, now we take a look at the purpose of systematic records management. Based on the ISO 15489 Standard 2001 states records management as the field of management responsible for the efficient and systematic control of the creation, receipt, maintenance, use and disposition of records, including the processes for capturing and maintaining evidence and information about business activities and transactions in the form of record. Therefore, systematic records management aims to provide guidance for the storage and preservation to electronic records or data in the public sector. What are Statesman's Archive? Statesman's Archive is a platform used to pay tribute to national figures from various fields that greatly contribute to the country. Besides, the Statements Archive has 11 galleries, library and memorials in total. For example, the Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Memorial, the Tun Abdul Razak Memorial, the Tun Husainon Memorial, Memorial Negarawan, Galeria Seri Perdana, the Tun Abdul Ghaffar Baba Memorial, the Proclamation of Independence Memorial, the P. Ramli Memorial Library, Independence House, Mahathir Mohamad Birthplace and P. Ramli Birthplace. And this is a picture for the memorial, gallery and library.
Next is awards that are received by the NAM. Throughout the National Archive of Malaysia operation, the department has won various awards. UNESCO Jikji Memory of the World Prize 2009 is one of the awards obtained by the National Archive Malaysia. The award was received on 31 July 2009 and the department received it from the Mayor of Cheongju City, Mr. Nam Sang-woo in Cheongju, Republic of Korea. Next, the correspondence of Sultan Abdul Rahman Hamid Halim Shah Kedah, stored in National Archive Malaysia, also received UNESCO recognition as Memory of the World in 2009. In addition, National Archive Malaysia has also achieved international recognition as early as 1964 when the Secretary General of the International Council on Archives (ICA) invited this department to set up its branch for the Southeast Asian region. The purpose is to establish, preserve and strengthen the relationship between archives from all countries in the region and between all institutions, professional bodies and organizations related to the rights of custody, organization or administration of archives.
Okay, for this slide is about the disaster management. Okay, as we know, disaster management is very important to this archive, which is to ensure the important records that related to the country is protected, and especially if there is a disaster occurs. Okay, first and foremost, disaster management that National Archive Malaysia do is by identifying the important records available in public ministry and agencies. Okay, second one is this archive will store and preserve the important copies of records safety. And then National Archive Malaysia also assists the ministry and the public agency by preparing disaster action plans. And the last one is they assist the ministry and the public agencies to rescue and manage the records in the event of a disasters. Okay, there are a lot of symbols that have at the logo National of Archive Malaysia. Okay, first one is the paper that amounts 13 sheet, which is the description is the symbol of national document and records. Okay, second one is the graph of 13 sheet of paper. This is the represent the 13 states that make up the country of Malaysia, which also means that the country document and records are very rich in historical elements that can be proud of. Okay, for the third symbol is the paper forming flowers with the petals 13. Okay, the flower became a symbol that national documents and records have elements and cultural values. Okay, for the fourth one is the 13 pointed star. The 13 pointed star is represent the star found in the Malaysian flags, symbolize the unity of Malaysian. Okay, the Q is the seal used in official government documents. Okay, and then for the words of Arkib Negara Malaysia, this is the symbolized as the authority of the National Archive of Malaysia, which keeps and preserve government documents and record properly. Okay, for the last one is the yellow line of the circle. Okay, this is the symbol of the officers and staff of National Archive of Malaysia, which is the main mobilizer and machinery in the implementation of the government plans.
The Act used by the National Archive is Act 629, which is the National Archive Act 2003. There are 8 main parts in this Act. Among them are Part 1, Preliminary, Part 2, National Archive and Director General. Part 3 is Advisory Board. Part 4 is the Management of Record. Part 5 is Administration of Archive. And Part 6 is Establishment and Management of Ministerial Archive and Memorial Archive. Part 7 is General. And for the last one is the State Archive. Next, for the development of Audiovisual Documentation Center, held is to enhance and empowers NAM role in tracking, acquiring and documenting the audiovisual material to preserve and conserve all type of audiovisual material as a national heritage and to provide reference and research facilities using audiovisual materials. And the service implement in this section are consultation, acquisition, disposal, repository and preservation, reference and research and others facilities. Among the criteria select for the audiovisual is collection produced related to Malaysia, whether done domestically or abroad, collection produced on Malaysia by any Malaysia citizen and non-citizen, either domestically or abroad, collection produced by any department of federal government, state government, federal and state statutory bodies, and every government related agency as well as private. Next, audiovisual collection use is audio, video, multimedia, for film and photo format.
Okay, now let's look to the activities and programs held by the National Archive of Malaysia. The first is the activities of Pendokumentasian Istana Negara, which is intended to share to the public on the necessary methods and procedures during the documentation process. The second is the program of Bicara Tokoh Tun Abdul Razak, which was held to talk to the public about the contribution and services of figures who have served the country. Next is the activity of Majlis Perkisahan Sejarah, which was to remind and provide knowledge to the public about the valuable history of the country. Then is the activity of pelancaran beberapa judul buku, which was to inform the public about the valuable books stored in the National Archive of Malaysia. Last but not least is the program of sesi dialog antara Ketua Pengarah Arsip Negara Malaysia bersama penggiat seni, which was to foster closer ties between the National Archive of Malaysia staff and arts activists. Next is the online access session provided by NAM. The first is the NAM Online Finding Aids website that works to allow for access to archive material to all levels of society without time, space and place. Besides, researchers locally or overseas can continue to use of Compass, Compass Web and the OFA app that uses the same face display and research procedure to facilitate researchers. The second is the NAM WebOPAC website that provides PNM archive collection, includes publication of the National Library of Malaysia such as monograph, brochure, program, serial issue and book programs. Besides, PNM archive material is a photo of an album where all activities or program carried out or related to the department have been captured in the form of photos. Next, WebOPAC NAM can make it easier for researchers to find information through the website provided quickly and comfortably. The third is e-archive, or we call the official portal of the National Archive of Malaysia, aimed at assist researchers to find archive resources and for research purposes online. Besides, through the e-archive platform too coincides with the existence of NAM itself, which is designed to assist and advise the government department on how to manage public records systematically and orderly. Last but not least is Hari Ini Dalam Sejarah mobile application, which is able to help and facilitate users to search the Malaysian historical information and events.
In conclusion, it is clear that the National Archive play a very important role to the country, and all parties must be united in the successful implementation of the National Archive. That's all the explanation for the National Archive of Malaysia from us. Thank you.